I can imagine that sometimes you might ask yourself, am I just a compulsive user, or am I a normal phone user or social media user, or am I maybe an addict? Or how big and severe is my problem with my screen time? If you feel bad after a phone session or social media session, I can imagine you might ask yourself, should I change or reduce my screen time? Well, but everyone else is using their screens anyway, right? So maybe it's just normal and I don't need to change anything. Here are a few signs that the more they apply to you, the more you might want to reduce your screen time. So for example, do you feel this urge to go for your phone regardless of notifications that are disabled or enabled? Even if there are no notifications, do you feel this urge to go for your phone just to see if anything is wrong maybe with your phone, if there are no notifications? So there are no notifications, but after 20 minutes you go for your phone just to double check that everything is fine, because normally you expect notifications and then they don't come in, and then you want to check. Do you enter this trance oftentimes when you go for your phone just to do that one thing, but you end up doing 1,000 things and then you stop using your phone after 1 hour? And then when you're out of this trance, you're kind of surprised and you ask yourself, how come that I've lost 1 hour now on my phone? Do you go through this app cycle many times that when you go for your phone, you double check Twitter twice? So maybe you check Twitter and then 5 minutes later you check again because maybe there is a notification or this life-changing message or post or some entertaining post that you've missed that you should know about. But it's just because you're programmed, right? You're not even 100% conscious of the fact that you're opening Twitter or TikTok for the second time in 5 minutes. It's just you're programmed. You go through this whole app cycle, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and then you go back to Facebook. Does this happen a lot? How do you feel after you're done using your phone? Do you feel aggravated? Do you feel stressed? Do you feel annoyed? Do you regret going for your phone? How do you feel? How do other people perceive your screen time, your phone use? Are they complaining that you use social media a bit too much? That you are such a public billboard that they ask themselves and ask you, why are you so active on social media? Or are they annoyed by the fact that you're always so distracted that you always go for your phone? And are you sacrificing any responsibilities maybe? Are you neglecting yourself? Are you neglecting your nearest and dearest, your relationships? Do you meet people less because you just want to be on your phone? You just want to meet people in the virtual world? Do you prefer the virtual world over the real world, over the offline world? Do you feel more excited to enter that virtual world rather than the offline world? Because you can do anything you want in the virtual world. You can be anyone you want in the virtual world. Does that sound more appealing to you? Are you neglecting your aspirations, your dreams? Do you focus on growth-related activities for yourself? Do you grow yourself? Do you develop yourself? All these things that you want to do in the future, in your life, are you working towards those? Are you working to become better, to achieve those things that you want to achieve in life? Do you feel excited about yourself, about your life, about your nearest and dearest? How is your physicality, your physical health? Do you always walk around with your neck bent because you're always on the phone? Do you feel any problems in the spine or pinky, thumb, arm, elbow? Do you feel any physical problems, or even posture-wise? Do you walk with proper posture, or are you hunched over all the time? What about depression, anxiety? Do you feel alone? Do you feel depressed? Do you feel that no one understands you and you try to solve these issues by entering the virtual world more and more? Do you eat well? Do you sleep well? Is your phone outside the bedroom or is it next to you? Do you sleep with your phone underneath the pillow? Have you configured your phone in such a way that it is still distracting you all the time? Are the notifications coming in non-stop? Are you always in reactive mode that you don't really have control anymore over your life and it's frustrating you? Do you eat without your phone? Do you have dinner time with your family without your phone? Do you use your phone in the car or not? Do you sometimes walk on the street and you're almost hitting someone just because you're not paying attention on the streets? Ask yourself all these questions, because the more those signs apply to you, the more you really want to start reducing your screen time. So don't neglect your dreams. Don't prioritize the virtual world over the offline world. Don't focus on all these online relationships, which oftentimes are not as meaningful as the real relationships with the people in the real world, the offline world. Keep taking care of yourself. And even if you feel sad, if you feel worse, then remember that the phone is not going to help you out. Sometimes we go for a phone because we think that's going to be the problem solver, but at the end of the day, it's just going to make it much worse. And then what happens, because it's going to make you feel worse, you go for your phone. So you enter this vicious cycle. So ask yourself all these questions. Are people complaining about your screen time? Are you an unlikable person now? Because sometimes when you use your phone too much and you feel worse and worse, you become more annoyed, you become more aggravated, you become a grouchy person. So are people complaining that you start to become more distant, coldish? You want to pay attention to that as well. So if all these signs apply to you, the more signs apply to you, the more you really want to focus on reducing your screen time. And it doesn't mean necessarily that you're an addict. You might just be a compulsive user, or just someone who's just using their phones or apps or social media a bit too much, and that's then something you want to reduce.